Hey guys, in case of boredom here. So today we're going to do something a little bit different in honor of New Year's. We're going to go through our 2015 with you. For this video, go ahead and in the bottom, leave your comments on what your favorite part of 2015 is and what you're looking forward to in 2016. And without any further ado, let's get into it. Skip! So, I'm a bike commuter. Most of the time I ride my bike to and from schoolwork, because I work at school, in case you didn't know. So, occasionally I'll drive the car, but I won't pay, like our school charges us $90 I think now for a parking permit. And I use the car maybe like 5 times a semester, and I'm like, there's no reason for me to pay that. There's just none. So I was just like, whatever. I'm not registered in their system, so there's no way they can find me. Who cares? So I had gotten about 5 parking tickets, and I guess that was the final straw. So I walked out to go grab something out of the car, and there was a boot on the car. Like an actual, like, physical police department boot, but it was from our school. And they had a notice saying, you have 24 hours to pay us, I think it was $215, or we're gonna go ahead and tow your car. And I was like, crap. So I kind of stuck my tail in between my legs, walked to the parking department, gave them the money, they came and removed the boot.
So in March, we had a new niece that was born. Our best friends just decided, I guess, that they needed to have someone else in their family. So they decided to have a baby, and she is adorable.
Unfortunately, we didn't get to spend a lot of time with her, because they did move away, but she still is adorable.
What happened in April, Teddy?
So, in April, I had to get untucked, and it was bad. Tell them more about what happened, like what actually transpired. Why'd you get unstuffed? Well, I got a Doctor Who suit. Basically, it's just a business suit. And it dyed my fur black, and Daddy couldn't have that. So then he had to get me unstuffed. I went round and around and around in a washing machine, and then I came out so fresh. How was that?
That was good, Teddy.
Cool.
Good job.
Yay! So in May, I finally accomplished something with my life. Just kidding. I only got an associate's degree. So I graduated college.
So also in May, we finally decided that it was time for me to no longer be riding a bike from Walmart.
That was 2 sizes too small.
And horrible. So we finally found a bike that I fell in love with, and decided to go ahead and get it.
So for June, as you know, Jurassic World came out. Amy grew up on the Jurassic Park movies. Me, I didn't really care about them, but we started watching some of the Jurassic Park because of her, and I fell in love with them. Like, I was like, this is amazing. So Jurassic World comes out, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna surprise my wife. I know how much she loves this. I'm gonna surprise her with some tickets to go see Jurassic World. So I'm sneakily, like, on my phone, buying some tickets while we're sitting here watching some YouTube videos. And I'm like, all right, babe, let's go to the movie theater, or like, to see what? And I was like, Jurassic World. So we get there, and I'm like, here's my confirmation number, and they're like, I'm sorry, sir, we don't find this in our system. And I'm like, what? I'm like, but it's right here. Like, it says, upon closer inspection of my purchase, it turns out that I purchased it for that day. So I bought the tickets yesterday, and that's the day that I purchased the tickets for. And we went the next day. So, of course, they're not valid. I was devastated because I was so looking forward to surprising her with one of her favorite film sagas, and I ruined it. So the next week, I decided to try again. This time I brought her in on the secret. We decided to travel and take a day trip to Tulsa, Oklahoma. So we bought the tickets for the Oklahoma movie theater, and we just took a trip. And this is where things get interesting, because I didn't realize that there were toll roads in Oklahoma. Never knew that. And I hadn't really experienced toll roads except for back home on the bridges, you have to pay tolls on the bridges. Well, I assumed, that's the only time you ever pay tolls. So we were driving along, all of a sudden, boom, toll booth. And I was like, okay, cool, no problem. I got the credit card, no big deal. I handed them the credit card, and they kind of like looked at me like, are you serious? And they're like, we can't take that, cash only. We were like, I don't know what to do. Like, we can't go to Tulsa without cash. So luckily, we had the Google Wallet card on us. So all I do, as we were pulling into a rest stop that they let us go to, I quickly transferred money into it, went to the ATM, pulled out money, had to drive back, pay that toll, and then pay the toll to actually go to Tulsa. It was a nightmare. But I was like, cool, I got $20, they took $3, I got plenty of money to come back home. No problem. So we go watch the movie, it was fantastic, loved it, spent some time in Tulsa. Finally, it was time to come home. We pull up to the toll booth, and I, had my money ready. I was like, all right, it was $3 to come here. I'll just give them $3. Be good. Pulled up to a change machine. I didn't have change. I had only dollar bills. We drove home. We called them. And they're like, oh, just send a check to us for 85 cents. I don't know how to check. And it's just like the most archaic way, I feel like, of money handling. But we did it.
So in July, one of my friends that I used to work with needed a place to stay. And I was like, hey, we have an extra room. You can come stay with us. So I helped her get all of her stuff, moved in, everything. I don't know if you could really say that she lived with us because I think she was really only here like 5 days out of the month, which is, fine. She could have stayed longer if she wanted to, but so that was kind of an interesting experience.
I built my first full computer. And what I mean by that is where I actually ordered all the parts and assembled them in a case. I had replaced CPUs, messed with RAM, I've done all the little things here and there, but I've never assembled an entire machine. So that was my first.
Then in August, which is the most important month of the year, I had my birthday, and Henny had his birthday because we share one, but different years. In September, we took a trip to Kansas City because one of our friends from college got married, which I'm really excited for her and her little family. It was probably one of the best weddings that I've ever been to. No offense, I still loved our wedding, but all the little personal details that were thrown in there, it was just perfect.
It was adorable.
So it was probably one of the best. And I'm sorry to anyone else's wedding that I've been to. I'm not trying to offend anyone, but
I'm offended. October. I don't really know where to start. A lot of bad things happened to me in October, specifically me. Amy was okay. The first thing was my beloved Mary, that's my bike, my Trek, was stolen out from in front of school. I came out and she was gone. I missed that bike. I love that bike so much, and it's gone. The other thing was a couple days later, my Nexus 5's power button kind of started sticking, so it just got stuck in an infinite boot loop and wouldn't come out. So that was a nightmare. I ended up sending that back to LG, and FedEx ended up losing the package. Finally, after about a month and a half, it made it to LG, and then it took them about 2 weeks to get it back to me. So it was a nightmare. Also in October, the one good thing that did happen was I went on my first real interview. This was for a company that I was super excited about. It's for ConocoPhillips. And this was my first big boy interview. So I drove back to Oklahoma, no toll roads, and I interviewed with him. When I went there, I was in love with the company. When I left there, I was more in love with the company. After a couple weeks, guy called me and he's like, we'd like to offer you a job. And so that's actually where I'm going to be interning this summer. I'm so excited.
in November, we went and saw Zach Sherwin. Which, if you don't know who he is, he does some of the epic rap battles of history.
I put his channel in the description below if you want to check him out.
So, of course, we sat front row. for he was doing a stand-up routine, and of course we took the kids with us. So he included us in quite a bit of the routine.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got to take a picture with him afterwards and got some shirts and stuff. It was really cool. He's a really cool dude.
Yeah. The other things that happened in kind of later November redeemed October. So I had been searching hard for Mary, like on Craigslist and pawn shops. Still haven't come up with her. I'm still searching in hopes that she'll turn up. But I got a lot of my friends, and I thank you again for this. They started kind of donating money to me so that I could get a replacement bike. And they gave me just enough money. Like, I raised $190, and I found this bike that I fell in love with, and it's actually my current bike. I call him Tom now. Guy was selling it for $180, and it needed some work. So I ended up buying the bike, took it in for a tune-up. I think I ended up spending about $300 total on the bike, and I'm happy with it. It's not exactly what I want, but it's perfect for me for right now. I'm very happy with it as it is. The other thing was I got my Nexus 6P. So in December, kind of a chill month. I finished up, school of course. But we also decided to go through CNET's How to Watch the MCU. Link to it in the description. And so we watched all of it. It's a lot, but it makes so much sense, and it made me fall more in love with the MCU. It was enjoyable.
Yeah, I have to say, I don't think that I was ever much of a Marvel fan. Like, I liked Iron Man, but I hadn't really seen anything else. But even Iron Man made more sense when you threw the other movies and the shows in there.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
I kind of fell in love.
So, of course, December 2015, everyone knows what that means. Star Wars. I lived up to my expectations very well. I walked in so happy, and I walked out just as happy. Like, I want to see it 27 more times.
The other big thing for me that happened in December is that I finally decided to do something I've always wanted to do but been a little scared to do. I dyed my hair. And that might seem a little silly to some people because people dye their hair all the time. But I had a hair color that most people dye their hair to get. So I was like, I don't want to ruin my hair. I don't want to change my hair color and have it look awful. Then I was just like, let's do it. And
you literally woke up that morning and was like, let's dye our hair. And I was like, right now? She's like, yeah. So we literally went to the salon. That same day, she finally decided to tell me about all this.
So I don't know, I personally think it turned out really great. I'm in love with it. I'm kind of glad I did it because I think if I didn't just do it, I probably would have spent more years wondering what I might look like with a different hair color. I'm still curious what I would look like blonde, but I would never dye my hair blonde. I'm just curious. What's wrong with that?
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a blast to make. It took a while to actually get through it. As you can see, we made it through one costume change. But anyways, hope you enjoyed reliving our year with us. Go ahead, again, down in the comments, leave one of your favorite moments from 2015. Also, what you plan on doing for 2016. We plan on shooting that video out to you real quick. But then again, I want to thank you for watching. Go ahead and like this video, subscribe, share it with all your friends, and we'll see you next time. Bye!